All right, so we've kind of went over the different stuff as far as it pertains to the age of domain and content and backlinks and citations, and then obviously the niche that you've chosen, population, all these different things we kind of went through. But what we haven't really went through, which you don't really understand, is does the niche look like low-hanging fruit? And I want to talk about that specifically because it really is speaking to one element of this search. So I'm just going to stay consistent with what we've used throughout these training videos. And I want to make sure you guys understand, like if I was doing window tinting in due diligence, this would be no. This would be, this is a walk-in type business. So is it phone driven or walk-in? Excuse me, this would be walk-in. So I would have to put that on my list. But like I say, this worksheet is, you're going to use this for both your due diligence for an SEO client to kind of analyze the market, or you're going to do it for your own lead gen properties. And I think that's really important. Everyone approaches this model a little bit differently. Some people want to just like rent out the basic websites, and I love that passive income stream. Some people want to take all the other skill sets and offer it as a service, and you can literally do either one you want. It's totally up to you. But just understand, from a lead gen standpoint, we recommend checking if the need. For lead gen, good Lord, we want a preferred phone-driven business. Okay, so this wouldn't be great for a lead gen as it pertains to what I'm about to teach you right now. Okay, so if we went over to and this is as the map, as everything looks now. This is Google might change. They always do. There's new things coming down the pike, like I'll show you in just one second. Actually, I'm going to show you now. Notice the difference between the two of these. So here we have a map, and over here we have this new Google sponsored listing. Kind of crazy, kind of different. This does not negate the fact. So basically, Google has done away with the maps, and they're basically going through their own lead gen process. So you can actually go through Google's lead gen process instead of paying someone like us. Okay. Now, a lot of people are spooked out by this, but I'm not spooked out by this at all. Is because I understand that holding these positions are incredibly valuable as well, and they'll generate tons and tons of leads. And there's many people that won't click on these and won't go through the process. And then secondly, or thirdly, or whatever point I'm on, it's going to be very, very interesting to see if Google can actually roll this out. Their talks right now is this won't go into most niches. This will go into very specific niches. But Google predominantly has tried to get into spaces like this whole online space of, they tried to do the Groupon model when Groupon was big. Now they're trying to do this thing. They're not an outbound sales company, so they have to have people kind of coming to them. And so this has been in test for quite a while now, and I haven't seen, other than a couple major cities and a couple key niches, I haven't seen a huge adoption of this yet. In fact, I even signed up to get contacted, and I never received a contact back, believe it or not, for these Google Guaranteed. So anyway, so those are just to kind of show you some of the differences. The sky is not falling. We do know about this stuff. We've been watching it for a while, and I really don't think, knock on wood, that it's going to roll out across every niche in every city and every market. I don't think there's any way potentially possible that could happen. I think it will go into specific cities, specifically big ones, but I don't think Google has the manpower. And just from the way of working with business owners for a long time, I don't think it's as easy as a sell to get business owners to pay for leads through this type of a model. So anyway, let's move back over to the 99.9% of the rest of Google and what it looks like right now, which is this map. It's got 3 locations, and looks like it's the third one just changed, which is funny because it just shows you that Google things bounce around quite a bit. So don't get spooked by that stuff either. But when we're identifying what we call, and what I like to call, low-hanging fruit, I'm specifically talking to this map location and how the organic listings, which is what we're seeing here, coincide with what you're seeing up here. Okay? And there's some very interesting things, and I'm going to show you this over the course of, we'll do some just totally random searches off the top of my head. But you'll notice the number 1 map listing here is the number 1 listing here. So basically what this is telling us is this organically is very strong, which is having some sort of an influence on this top spot. we generally see that the top organic listings, almost in every niche that we've looked through, not all, but almost every one of them, the top organic listing, meaning outside the map, always or almost always coincides with the top 1 or 2 top listings here. Okay, and we're going to move down. So we got iTint, which is not in Eugene, so that's why they're not showing up there. And then we got Darkside. So what do you know? Darkside in the map is right there. So we got 1 is right here, and then we got number 2 in these maps is right here. And what's the third? Project Green. There's Project Green. And if you remember from previous videos, this was the third one that was popping in and out of there. So they're kind of like battling. So what does this tell me? Well, this tells me that all 3 listings on this page, or all 2 of the 3 listings are on page 1 in these top kind of dominating spots. So there's no like black and white, but my doing this for a long time will tell me that in order to take over this top spot, I'm going to have to organically work myself up in these top spots as well. I'm going to have to get to spot number 2, I'm probably going to have to hop over Darkside. Well, if we remember some of the stuff we looked up on this business, that's why we got to take everything into account. You know, they were not that strong. They had no backlinks, they had no content basically. And so, you know, probably being able to get into this position wouldn't be incredibly difficult, but it's not just easy peasy lemon squeezy. I mean, this isn't just, you're not just going to waltz your way in through here. This is going to take some time. This could take 60 to 90 days. And these aren't even real strong competition. There's not a ton of window tint businesses. If we went to see more places, there's literally only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one's not even in the same city. Okay, so there's really only 4 businesses in this market. Imagine if there was 25. You know, if we did dentist Eugene, okay, and we hit more places. Well, now we got tons of places we're going against, tons and tons and tons and tons. So these are things you want to look at before just jumping into a marketplace. But specifically, I want you really identifying, okay, Thomas E. Houston, his website is, let me scroll this down a little bit. His website is Smiles by Houston, okay? So here's an instance where Smiles by Houston is holding a top spot, but it's not on, oh, there it is, right there, okay? So there's that. So we look at that, kind of look at, we'd have to look at the citations and all the rest of the stuff and kind of take it all into account. We got Smiles by Eugene, website, Oregon or Eugene Dentist, right there. And we got Oakmont Family Dental, which happens to be right there. So they could be messing up on some other things, you know, their optimization. We're going to get into that. You know, there's other factors that kind of play into this stuff. But I'm trying to show you, when you're looking for like really easy to penetrate marketplaces up here in these maps, if that's where you're going to go, you need to look at, are all 3 of these top 3 listings on page 1 organically? If the answer is yes to this, okay, more likely than not, it's going to take, it's not, I wouldn't consider it low-hanging fruit. Let me give you an example of low-hanging fruit. See if this one still pulls up. So this would be like an example of if you were going to take on an SEO client for this or whatnot, or however you were going to go after this market, and you wanted to be in the map listings, and we do this search real quick. Well, first of all, we got Folsom Yellow Cab. Number 1, they don't even have a website. So you want to talk about, you're not going to find them in this first page. Then number 2, you got Eldorado Hills Limo. So first of all, Folsom's the town over, and they somehow are there, and that's probably by way of being cited in other places around the web, and Google aggregated that data. And then you got Eldorado's Limo, which listed themselves as a taxi service, and their website is eldoradohillslimo.com, which we don't even see on page 1. So I literally could go and set up a listing right now with a website, optimize it, which you're going to learn in weeks to come the correct way, do the content the correct way, do everything the correct way, end to end, and I would be in this thing in probably a matter of a week at most. So what I'm trying to explain to you guys when identifying low-hanging fruit, and obviously the more you do this, the better the feel you get for it, just like anything in life. But when identifying low-hanging fruit, I really want you looking at, does these main people in the market, let's look at this one. Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery. Probably one of the most competitive niches on planet Earth, and specifically in that market. So we got website number 1 is Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery Inc. You can kind of see it at the very bottom of my screen. They're number 1. Number 2 website, we got Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery Group, okay, which we see right there. And then number 3, we got Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery right there. So they don't always go one for one, sometimes you'll see number 2 being number 3 in organic or vice versa, because there's other factors in here, which we're going to teach you through all the optimization steps. But I would never go into this niche, whether a lead gen property, if I was going to go that route, or an SEO property. It's going to take some serious work. And then I also want to look at more places and see how many people are in this marketplace as a whole. Looks like I'm still in Beverly Hills. I got to see here. Rodeo Drive, Wilshire. You go through here, but it's, there's a lot of competition, pages and pages and pages of it, right? So these are all things when you're doing your due diligence. And low-hanging fruit, we get the question, hey Dan, is this low-hanging fruit or not? Make sure you go through all the steps that I'm giving you. But if all three companies are on page 1, and they're all in here, the answer is no, it's not low-hanging fruit. If, one is on page 1, let's say this guy was number 1 and this was here, but then the other 2 were nowhere to be found on page 1, 2, whatever. Yeah, you're seeing your place that, hey, I just need to organically do well and optimize really well and do everything that they're going to train me in this training. I'm going to have a better shot at getting in there. So all niches were not created equally in what we do and what we train you guys. And so looking at low-hanging fruit, we can do more. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Spelled right. Let's see if anything changes. Okay, they're number 1. Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery Group, number 2, right there. And David E. Kim, which was, I gotta move this down, which is BeverlyHillsPlasticSurgery.com, number 2. Okay, so nothing changed. But bottom line, guys, is these are the things that we gotta look. We'll do some more searches. Let's just pick a new town. Okay. We'll do let's do roofing, San Diego. So we got RSI. So if I'm doing an SEO project and maybe the competitor wants to beat out RSI, I'm looking, okay, what's their website? Their website, goodness gracious, I should have learned last time. Their website, thinkrsi.com. Okay, so I'm looking through. There they are, number 1. So they got maybe some good stuff. They got 18 reviews. Reviews, although Google says they don't help, they help. I know they do. San Diego Roofing Inc. Their website is sandiegoroofing.com. Look at that, number 1. So we see a little lower on reviews, but we got number 1 and number 2 both on page 1 organically. So this is not seeming like an easy market for me to get into. And then we got Roofing Specialists of San Diego. Very long domain name. Roofing Specialists of San Diego. I made it onto page 1. Or in the maps, let's see. Okay, so they're top of page 2. So they're in striking distance. I still would not sit back and say like, hey, this is going to be an easy market to penetrate. You got the 1, 2, and 3 all pretty strong. I'd have to go into each one of their pages and look at them individually before I make that snap judgment. So let's just do that. We'll start tying a little bit of this all together. Let's look at the third one, because the third one would be the one that we're going to knock off the quickest, right? So let's click into there. Now, in this case, if we were doing our due diligence, roofing is a licensed trade. So this would be something you'd want to maybe sell as an SEO deal up front and use their license number, but it wouldn't be something I would recommend going into without a license number. First and foremost, you can get yourself into trouble. Every state's a little bit different, but let's look at this, okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn on the SEO Quake again, right? Turn that on. That's from previous videos, so if you missed that. Let's see what we got here. 60 pages indexed. 6 backlinks, not many. Okay, age 13. Yeah, not much. I can show you how you click in and look in these backlinks more later, but I don't want to get too much in that. I want to stay focused on just kind of identifying low-hanging fruit here. Let's move back. Let's go to that number 1 guy. So number 1, which is this company right there. Let's click on it. $40 pages, so they're a little lighter on pages. 3 backlinks. This is interesting. Age 98. This is it's almost a 20-year-old site. It's been around for that long. That's having an effect here. That's what you can't fake age, guys. They might have some strong backlinks too. We'll look at that later. Okay, let's go back. This does not look like low-hanging fruit to me by any stretch of the imagination. And I think RSI was the next one. Where are we? I think RSI. Pop in here. Nice site. Not horrible. Bad picture. We got 128 pages. Interesting. 214 links. I will tell you this though. All links are not created equal. You could have 214 crappy links and have one really good backlink, and the one backlink will outweigh all 214. We're going to talk about that in later videos to come and how you identify that. And some age here, 2008, so it's got about 8 years online. So that gives you some lay of the land. I know part of this is just you going to be doing searches and looking at your niche. I would not constitute this as a low-hanging fruit niche because you have some strong players at number 1 right there at the top, and all 3 are right there in striking distance. I'm looking, if I can find, I'm looking for a niche. I'm looking for a niche that, for low-hanging fruit, if I want to dominate quickly, I'm looking for a niche that the players here, let's see, website is carpetcleaningfolsom.net. Nope, not there. Okay, so the number 1 player right here is, and I did. Well, man, I can't spell, can I? Okay, so Folsom. So they've added here for this. House cleaners are doing some testing there. Okay, so let's try. Let's do. See if that changes it. Let's see if we do El Dorado Hills. So they've moved it all the way out. Okay, so there's certain niches. Let's go for another niche here. Let's do. I'm going to use really basic niches here. I bet you this one pulls. Plumber's boring. Let me give you another one. Let's just do carpet cleaning. Okay, carpet cleaning Folsom. So our website is carpetcleaningfolsom.net. Carpetcleaningfolsom.net. Nope. Number 1's not on page 1. Okay, that's interesting. Folsom Carpet Cleaning Pros. Nope. Okay. And then Goose's. And I think Goose's is on page 1 right there. Okay. So to me, this is going to be a little bit more low-hanging fruit. I got 1 and 2 top people on these sites for pretty carpet cleaning Folsom. Folsom's 170,000 people, I think. These seem pretty easy to knock down. I think I could get into these top spots because they're not even on page 1, yet they're dominating up here. And with good optimization and the rest of stuff we're going to train you, this puts you in a really good kill zone. So again, you're going to have to learn this, and you're going to have to do lots of searches. Get comfortable. Don't just do 1 or 2. Kind of get a feel for it and start looking at these things and start identifying, are the top 1, 2, and 3 on page 1? If they are, it's not that you can't win with what we're going to train you. It's just going to take a longer amount of time. And I know a lot of people are in this to go as fast as they can. So if you can identify easier to target niches that you can dominate quicker, whether it's an SEO deal or lead gen deal, the results will follow faster. We'll see you on the next video.